Hello again. Today I have for you a recap from one rather unfortunate game. I won, but it was a huge struggle. I outplayed the opponent relatively easily, but then I became careless after getting absolutely crushing and winning position, and I gave my marshal away for lieutenant. Even though I knew his spy, I just played way too quickly. So in this video I will show you how you can actually come back or fight even after a loss of a piece such as marshal. At that point I was not down just marshal, I was also down to major and lieutenant. So it was coming back from a huge disadvantage. So here it is. I started by looking at who am I playing. This person didn't play that many games and his win rate also isn't that impressive, so I was feeling pretty confident. I started by going with captain forward, which is usually what I do. I like to sacrifice the captain to find some intel. And I wanted to find out what those two pieces were. I went just by one square with my scout because I want to bring my major a bit closer. In case I needed, let's say it was a captain, I want my major close. And it was one, so I was pretty happy to go forward. He also brought a piece and I defended it with unknown piece, so he respected it. I wanted to take the captain, so I decided to bring my captain to safety. And he attacked again. I protected with my general and then I felt pretty safe. I decided to take the captain even though I was pretty sure it was a strong piece. But the reason is I wanted to know which piece it was. In case it was a general or marshal, that would be a pretty good intel. Also, he went with the piece from here and he knew it was a captain. So maybe it was a colonel or major, this piece. And since he had this kind of piece here, I believed it could have been the general or the marshal. So that's why I took it. I didn't think this piece was a colonel. It was more likely that this piece was one. When I took it and recaptured, I was pretty happy to find out it was a marshal, because that means that I can freely go with my strong pieces attack, because let's say there's nothing that could kill the general except the other general. So I can only get positive traits for it. I also wanted to know which piece that was, and found out it was major as I thought. So I decided to bring my colonel up, maybe to scare him off, maybe to win the major. But my overall goal was to attack him on the right side. So nothing much happened here. I got my captain to safety, I got my colonel to good place. Unfortunately, he found out which piece it was, but at least I got a lieutenant for it, so I can't complain that much. Also, since this side was stuck, I wanted to somehow bring my general over here, so I was just creating the path for it, so the fact that I found a lieutenant works just fine for me. Definitely don't want him to take my general, so I'm gonna use the 2 square rule. And so far it's pretty good. I mean, I am down a major, but since I know his general, since I know his marshal, it's pretty good for me. Then, search conclusion, and I hope I'll get some more intel. And I found the general. So now I know both of his strongest pieces, which means I can also start attacking with the colonels. This one is not really gonna do anything anytime soon, but this one might do some damage, let's say, on this side. So that's why I wanted to open up this and find what's here so I could bring my colonel there. And I'm afraid of lieutenants, can't complain with that. So I decided to scare him with my marshal. He doesn't know it is a marshal, so he might think it's bluff. But I wanna lure out the spy so I know where it is. I didn't think I'd actually get his general, but I mean, I could take it now, thinking this is a spy, and then have a general and spy against his marshal, which is usually a pretty good trait. But I wanted to play it better. It's objectively not very good, but when you're playing weaker players, you can afford to do that, at least if you know how to play that style. But I wanted to find his spy and then work around it. And so far I think this is the spy or this is the spy. Probably this, because his general came from here, so having the spy right next to it would make sense. To know what piece this was. I thought it was something good because it came right from because it appeared right from next to the general. At least that starting place was next to the general, so I thought it might be a captain or a major, but unfortunately it was just a minor. At this point you should notice that I am down to scouts, so I should be very careful about them and not do exactly what I did here. It was definitely a mistake. I should have saved more scouts. And as you will see very soon, I will waste even more scouts. Good because he didn't find my marshal. So so you can remember all the pieces. This is marshal, this is general, this is minor, this is a spy, and that's pretty much all there is. I was thinking what to do because I didn't want to risk losing Marshall due to the spy. And here I wasted another scout. It was pretty obvious it was bad piece. Well, not bad, but not meaningful piece. So I shouldn't have done what I did. I got a map and I'm hoping to find a colonel. If I'll find a colonel, I'll just slowly find a way to get there. I found a major, which isn't bad, but it could have been better. Since it's not so easy, since it wasn't so easy to get there with my colonel, I decided to scare him off with major. If you will try it, then what to do, but he should probably respect it since he doesn't know any of my pieces except this colonel. That's not enough. So he should definitely respect this piece. Now here I could take the lieutenant and get extra piece after the threat of marshals, but I didn't think it was enough. I wanted more. right now it seems like this is the spy, because whenever he puts that piece, he's follows it with the general, so this is probably the spy, but at this point I wasn't sure about it. I also wasn't sure about what this piece was, so I decided to scout it, and I again shouldn't do that because I am running low on scouts. And the trade of scouts isn't good because he's got 4 and I got 1. I should not have allowed it. I scouted 4 pieces that were not important, and that were clearly not important. Here came an interesting moment, because I wanted to bring this piece up here to make it look like something strong, but not spy, because I know his marshal is here. So I wanted to go here, then when something would push it, I'd go right back, and I'd put it, let's say, here, which would be a trap for a marshal at some point. That's a general. So yeah, I followed my plan. I'm following with this piece to a general, so it shouldn't be a good piece. Now here was interesting moment, because he moved this piece, and at this point I was pretty much sure this was a scout, but I can't really do anything about it, because if I would move the marshal, he might take the spy, and it would be really bad. So it's better to let him find out who my marshal is, but even that is unfortunate. I probably should have played it slower, just move my marshal here and then bring the spy, but it is what it is. So now he knows my marshal, but I still didn't want to trade them, because I wanted to keep pressure. He obviously wants to trade them, but that's out of question for me. And I am thinking this is the spy. I am actually pretty sure about it at this point. But I'll get too carried away and I'll ignore it. Now, the spy is moving, and I was looking at it peripherally. I was mainly looking at this side, because I saw his general and his marshal, so I knew I could take anything here. Now, here is another interesting moment. He thinks this is a very strong piece, and he's right. What he doesn't know is, or probably forgot, that this is a strong piece too. So he wants to know what this is, which means this is probably a scout. I can't really allow him to find out, so I will threaten to take it, and when it moves here, then I will scout it. So both of the scouts cancel each other out. Yeah. That was pretty easy to know. What I didn't know is this was a strong piece. I thought this was some kind of garbage piece, but it's a colonel. I don't think I could have known, but I probably should have considered it being a strong piece. I really thought it was just garbage. Now again, the spy is moving closer, but I'm not paying attention. I'm looking just at this side. So advice for you: always look at everything, just take your time. We traded colonels, and here you can see how quickly I played it. I will go back for a second. He moved his marshal. I thought, oh, he finally stopped protecting the lieutenant, so I can take it without trading. And immediately after I moved that piece, I realized, oh, but this was his spy. And I was like, oh no, that's unfortunate. So just like that, I lost the marshal. We can look at the standings, and he's got marshal, all 3 majors, 3 captains. He's down to lieutenants, but apart from that, he also has 2 more scouts. On the other hand, I have nothing. This should be completely lost. But when you lose like this, you just wanna play a bit more, because that would be way too painful to just resign after 1 move. So I decided to play on, even though I was pretty sure I was gonna lose. I decided the only chance is that I'll go in with... first I wanna make sure that his spy disappears. The fact that he finds out my minor isn't that important. And then I wanted to go in with my general. I also should have taken this piece first. It was protected by colonel, so it means it's probably something low to find information with. He doesn't have lieutenant, so it was me either sergeant, minor, or scout. So I should have taken it first. And even if it would have been a captain or major, then I can just go after it with my general. What I did instead is I let him find out what this piece was. I should have just taken it. That was definitely a huge mistake on my part. So now he has just 1 more scout. But here I will at least pretend like I am causing some sort of problems. I brought my spy closer in case he will do something crazy. But he was careful. He took his time, got all of his pieces out, and I was just really regretting my life choices here. His general is coming closer. I thought that he wants to go in and just take everything that moved, which is definitely what he should have done. That's like the #1 strategy he should have gone for. Or take his colonel and go in for the major. He could have trapped it. He doesn't know what it is, but he knows he can get it for free. So he should have done it. Instead, he's moving more pieces which haven't moved before, so he shouldn't do that. That's definitely wrong. I wanted to bait him to go after Surgeon so I could go after this piece, but that unfortunately didn't happen. Also, he wants to know what this piece is. So, yeah. At least I got a minor. If I'll get 3 minors, then I can dream about drawing the game. I'll still just dream. I knew this piece moved, so I decided to go after it with my major. Of course, he protected it with his general, and I was just moving around, hoping something good would happen for me. But I still believed he was just gonna go in with the general. So when he went here, I was like, okay, he wants to go after the minor, using the 2-square rule. But I couldn't do anything about it, so I just ignored it. And I wanted to do some tricks here. He went in with the general, which surprised me a lot, which means he probably wants to trade them, which is a huge mistake. He shouldn't even dream about that. That's like definition of what he shouldn't do. Because that piece cannot be killed by anything here. So when he trades them, it's like putting nails out of coffin. It just makes my life easier a lot. So now I went with the strongest piece that I have, and I decided I was gonna load up. I am down way too much material, so I have to do something. I wasn't sure what this was, so I wanted to find out with my minor. And found out it was a colonel, and now he definitely should go and trade them. The fact that he didn't do even that is very surprising. That's also like 101 of what he should do. But I can complain. I guess he wanted to get the spy at all costs, so his marshal would be safe. He's super cautious player. He doesn't take risks, so this helped me a lot. I also was pretty sure that I moved with this captain, but he forgot, so I was not gonna move with it here. My major didn't move, so he might think one of these two or both are bombs, so hopefully he wouldn't try to hit it since he's up like million pieces. But now I went into Lotto, just tried. When you're down material, it's the only thing you can do. Just try to understand his setup. And if we'll think about it, his marshal came from here, major from here, his colonel went from here, spy here, general here. These are probably just either low scouting pieces or something like majors or captains. I don't think he would put a bomb here since he had both of his strong pieces right in the center. That's probably where he planned to play. So if he would have put bomb here, it would just harden his mobility. So that's why I didn't think these two were bombs, and that's why I went on to hit them. I lost the spy, but I was gonna hit the piece, and if it would have been a bomb, then that's the life. He went after my sergeant, and I got a major, which is great, because now I'm just down captain, and marshal of course. If I'll somehow get one captain or one major, then I can dream about not losing. It's still like very, very distant reality in which it could happen. It could happen, but it's something. Now I'm gonna hit this piece. I probably wouldn't hit this piece because that might be something. I wasn't really sure how to categorize it because he had a colonel here, marshal here, major here. This could very well be a bomb. I was not gonna try it, but this, I believe, was not a bomb. And I got another major, which was really good. Now, he moved this piece, which he shouldn't have done. I wouldn't have hit it, so this just helped me. Now, if I will, in this position, trade the colonels, then I can even think about winning it, because I have extra major. Extra major is good, and the two colonels and one sergeant will also help. But trading the colonel is like number one priority. So he ran away with this piece, which made me think it's probably minor or something pretty low. Maybe it's a major, but I didn't think so. Either way, I wanted to find out with my sergeant or take it. He made a room for the major, and he also didn't let me find out what it was. He took his time to figure out what to do, but I was just gonna attack it no matter what. And the day I'd stop attacking it is the day I would lose all of my pieces. So now we are shuffling a bit. He's trying to figure out how to not let me find out what that piece is. And he found a way by threatening something worse. When your opponent is creating a threat, do a bigger threat and he will forget about his. Or at least will not focus it at the moment. I wanted to go around with the colonel to trade them both. And I still wanted to know what that piece was. Now, my sergeant is dead. I can already forget about that piece. But Here you can think for a moment about what should you do, because the sergeant is dead, it's trapped by a marshal and colonel. You know, his general was here, his marshal was here, his general here, his colonel here, and his other colonel somewhere here, but I forgot already where it was. Which means that this side is his strong side, and this is probably garbage and bombs and scouting pieces. Which means his flag is somewhere over here. It can be here, it can be here, it can be here. Unless he has an open flag, but that's unlikely considering how cautious player he seems to be. So it's probably one of these or corner flag. Now, statistically, this and this square are most likely to be flags, since he already damaged his structure here. I believed it was here, so I decided to hit this place to find out what it was, and I hoped it was a bomb, but if I would find piece, it would also be good. I found the captain, which was really good, because at some point I might get my colonel or major at him and kill it. Now remember this captain, it will be very important. Now here he attacked with with his colonel, my captain, but it either hasn't moved or it moved, but he forgot. He shouldn't try to take it, but what you want to do is play as quickly as possible, because it's not really a bomb, it's actually a thing, and if he will lotto, it will end up pretty badly. So you should move at this point very quickly. And I did with my major. And I decided to go back and forth. Nothing much is happening here, but what he should do is at some point get his colonel here and trap my major. But when he does that, I will go for this captain. So first thing he should consider is how can I save this captain. Luckily for me, he's only focusing on the major, and he probably already forgot I discovered his captain. Now, I wanted to make sure this colonel doesn't go further. Since he hasn't taken this piece, it's unlikely he will take this piece. Using the 2 square rule to avoid losing a major. And at this point he just has to figure out what to do, or it will just be a draw. He can always trade the colonels, but once he does that, he might even lose the game, so he should be very careful about that. Now, I think that's somewhere around this point I offered him a draw. The reason why I did that wasn't because I wanted a draw. I mean, of course I wanted a draw, but the reason behind why I offered it is mainly that I wanted to make a stand. I wanted to tell him, okay, I will not do anything until you'll do something. That's what I wanted to say with the offer. He's still just trying to figure out what to do, and sooner or later he will go with his colonel here and get my major, and I want to get the captain in return. Now it's running away, but it will not get anywhere because he will just go here with his marshal, which is unfortunate, but at least I can go for the captain. He probably already forgot he showed it to me. I maybe could have gone up with my major to try to at least find out what this piece was, but that's just slight improvement. The there wasn't really no, any rush to go after this piece because I wouldn't have gotten it anyway unless I would have let him, unless I would have moved with one of these two pieces, and I surely as hell didn't want to do that because everything that moves is liability because he has two pieces that could capture it so he can trap it the way he did it with this major. So now I will just move back and forth with my colonel. There's nothing else to do. Yeah. And I'll just go around and around. Now he wants the... Now I will go back for a few seconds because there will be one very crucial decision. Yeah, the reason why I went to the right and not to the left. I mean, to the left I can go after this piece and I can at least pretend to do something. But there is a reason why I didn't do that. You can try to think about it for a second. Okay, if you still haven't figured it out, pause the video. But the reason is that I wanna persuade him that my flag is somewhere over here on the right side, not the left side or the middle. So I will just move around here with my colonel to make it look like I am guarding it. And it's really important that you do that you try to persuade your opponent to thinking wrong things, to make wrong assumptions. Because if I will just try to go around here, he might think, okay, it's probably somewhere around here on the left side. So he will just, with brute force, try to figure it out what there is. But if you'll do the same on the right side, he will do the same, but not find anything. So that's why I stayed on the right side. And I just went move after move, back and forth. Nothing much happened. If you want to skip this part, you can go, let's say, 2 minutes later, because I will just walk up and down and not much will happen. And I think here is the moment where I will offer the draw, because, yeah, here it is. Because there's just nothing else for me to do. And draw after losing a marshal like that is very good. He takes a moment to think about it, but of course he refuses it because he's the only one who can win at this point. He moved another piece, this piece, and it probably is minor. Now I still want to make it look like my bomb, like my flag is here, so I will be walking with my colonel here, and if he will at some point go closer to this side, I will try to, let's say, guard it with my colonel. So here's the marshal, here's the colonel, and here's something. And I'm guarding it. He's not gonna get anywhere. Not much to say about this. Just that I'm just trying to waste some time. Maybe of his clock, maybe of his patience. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do anything. Unfortunately, he's going to find this bomb, which was super unfortunate. So, marshal, colonel, and probably the minor. I think smarter decision would be to go here with captain to see if I will capture him, and if I will not, then only then bring the minor. I mean, he has all the time in the world, so he should have just tried that. and bomb, which means he's probably gonna find this flag soon. Now, what would you recapture the miner with? The sergeant or the miner? You can think for a moment. Yeah, during the game, I decided it's better to take it with the sergeant from the left because I want to keep the right side intact so he doesn't think there's anything. So he thinks the flag is here and he thinks that on the left side is nothing. But maybe even with the miner is good. Either way, I was gonna lose the piece that I would have taken the miner with. So now my sergeant is gone and we are even on sergeant. I'm still up the 2 colonels, but that's not enough. It's nowhere near to being enough. And now he has to go in with another piece. I thought that this was the captain, and now he's decided to just test my pieces and if I will move or if I will flinch with one of them. But even if he would be right next to the flag, I wouldn't have taken it. Because that would just made it look like it is the piece. On the other hand, if he will go on the right side, then I will try to take it with maybe the miner or something, just to make it look like I am protecting this side. And maybe one day he will mess up and put his marshal here and I will be able to escape. So now he's going in with the piece, trying to figure out if I will take it. He's thinking, because yeah, it either is the flag or it isn't the flag. And if it isn't, he will just lose something. When it comes to number of pieces, I have the upper hand, but when it comes to strength of the pieces, I am losing by a lot, by far. He again put his colonel right next to the flag. He could have taken it so many times, but he's too cautious and he's too scared, too afraid, because if it isn't the flag and he will lose something important, then he might even lose the game. Now, as you can see, he went on the right side, so I tried to protect it with my miner. Turned out it was just a scout, but it's very good that he doesn't have a scout anymore. That just makes my job easier. I mean, the job of drawing it, not losing, not winning it, that's absolutely out of question. And sooner or later he will have to bring another piece in, because he won't achieve anything with Marshal and Colonel that he's already got there. And here it is. I thought that it was Captain, that he wouldn't go in with the Major. As it turns out, it was actually Major, I think, or maybe a Sergeant. I already forget it. But one of these two pieces is Major and the other is Sergeant. I don't know which one is which. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about either of them, as long as they will not come over here, and only then I will start doing some things. Before that I will just move back and forth. I wanted to do something to see what he's gonna do if I will go one step on the left. He didn't react at all, and yeah, since this piece is now even lower and he doesn't have a marshal here, I can afford to put my colonel here because I don't don't have to be scared of him trapping it. Instead, I can lure him here, and if he's gonna forget, I'll get to run away. Also, it's again make it seems more like I am protecting this side. Now his marshal is here, so maybe he'll forget and I'll get to run away. If he'll do 10 tricks like that, he will forget the last one. I mean, he can do like 9 in a row, but 10 tricks is a lot of tricks, and even the best players will make mistakes. Now I can't go down because he would trap my claw, but only helps to my bluff that actually something is here. And since I have a chance, I'm down. But you can also like go up. You just wanna make sure that it seems more like the bomb is here. Now, give me a few more moves, and then something crucial will happen. Right now, it's just that he's letting me know more of his pieces, and if I will get my colonel out, then he's gonna lose a lot of pieces. Still, since I have a chance to go down, I'm going down, because it lured his marshal. And now maybe he'll forget. Okay, here I'll stop it. He went here, but I wasn't really thinking at this moment, but try to figure out what's the best move to play here, what's the best plan. Remember, this is the marshal, and I think this is the colonel, but I'm not sure. But this is the marshal, that's the important part. You can think for a second. And if you figured out that you can actually run away now, then congratulations, you're very good players and you found it out pretty quickly. He's not in time to stop me, but I wasn't really focusing on that, so I went down again. Yeah. And I will be in the same spot soon. Now here I realized that if I'm one move faster, then he's not gonna catch me. And here he should go here with Marshall, but he didn't, so now I'm free to run away. And I will cause a lot of damage. So I definitely want this piece. I don't know what it is, but I want it. I'll take all the pieces I can get. And at some point it will go here. And my question is, do you think I can actually go after the piece by moving the colonel up again? You can again think for a second. And the answer is unfortunately no, because if I would have done that, he would have gone here with his marshal. I can't take because then he would have trapped me, and it's very unfortunate, but what can you do? He would have just trapped me and I can't really do anything about that. So I decided to go after this piece instead, after a lot of thinking, because I really tried to make it work, but it just wasn't working. So I decided to go after this piece and hopefully get down for these pieces. Also, if you look at these pieces, I already said that his flag is very likely here because he had no defense here, which means that he's got open flag somewhere, which can be important if in certain moments, if we'll get there. Now, what he should do here is he should hit with this piece one of these two. It's unlikely they are bombs, but he can't know for sure. On the other hand, he knows for sure that he's losing this piece, so he should at least get some intel for it. But this game was already very long, so he might not be sure. And now I am just getting exactly where I want it. This is his colonel, and I am just getting pieces. Got mine, which means he's got left just one. But since my flag is open, it doesn't really matter. But I could at least bluff that at some point that my flag is here or here. And now he went down with his marshal. Can I take this piece? Remember that this is a colonel, but can I take it? And unfortunately the answer is again no, because if I would have done that, he would have gone down with his marshal, and then my colonel is trapped and I can't really trade them off if you calculate it with EC. So I decided to go for the colonel this way. He was thinking for a bit, and at this point I'm guaranteed to trade the colonel, so he should just accept it and trade them here. He didn't do that, he gave extra piece for it, extra piece instead, so I gladly took it. I got the sergeant, and now I can take this piece. I wasn't sure what it was, but I wanted just to take it off because I know it can kill me. I got it. My opponent told me well played, well executed, which I am very happy for. It was very hard to come back from it, but it's still not done. At this point I am probably gonna win it because I have 2 extra lieutenants for Marshal, but it's very much a fight. So I really had no idea why he has done what he did, because he resigned here, he surrendered. What he should have done is just to either, if he wants to draw, just move around with his marshal, and it's hard for me to break through. And if he would have ever felt threatened, he could just Lotto this place because he already thought it was a flag. So I think I wouldn't have won it, but I wasn't gonna lose, which is the important part. So that's what I wanted to show you, and I hope you enjoyed it.